Who would win between Godzilla from -1 or Ang Lee's Hulk? Starting off with Godzilla, the Big G physically is no slouch, capable of taking out several buildings in one tail swipe. This feat is capable of getting a low end of 11.15 tons, which is city block level, to a higher end of 680 tons, which is multi-city block level. His durability should likely scale to this, as it was done physically, although later on in the film he was defeated by a much weaker explosion. However, he was in a weakened state when this did occur. He was able to take tank fire and other attacks from military as well, and regenerate almost instantly. His ability to regenerate is his main defensive weapon, as it was able to outpace and keep him alive from a nuke. We even see at the end of the movie, when he is merely a small chunk after the battle, he's able to start regenerating from that once again, meaning you likely have to destroy all of him to get the job done. He likely would have also healed from the explosion that blew off his head towards the end of the movie, if it wasn't for his own atomic breath destroying him from the inside. Now onto his atomic breath, his ultimate weapon, was capable of obliterating Ginza, turning it to ashes. The blast destroyed a radius of 6 kilometers, resulting in an output of 17.36 megatons of TNT. This makes it much bigger than Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. This makes sense, as his atomic breath is stated to be the most powerful weapon on the Earth at this point. So powerful, in fact, that it causes damage to him, and he is not able to use it more than once in quick session, as he must regenerate first before using it again. Now on to Ang Lee's Hulk. The Jolly Green Giant in this film is both stated and shown to both grow in size and strength the more angry he gets, starting with a 9-foot form and eventually reaching its max 15-foot form, with some statements even applying each time he transforms. He possibly is stronger than the last transformation. I'm not going to talk too much about the smaller forms, as they don't do much that is impressive. He flips some cars, tosses a gamma reactor, he throws the tank, he can tank bullets from M60s and M22s. His skin is 8 to 10 times stronger than Kevlar, can exert at least 14 tons of pressure per square inch. He withstands tank fire, although it does seem to have some sort of effect on him in the film. A lot of these feats for his weaker forms get wall level to small building level, such as the tank throwing feat. It isn't until he reaches his 15-foot form that we truly see what this Hulk is capable of. The 15-foot form is capable of tanking flamethrower fire that is capable of melting a dozen cars, which can get large building level ranges of durability. We also have Absorbing Man, who Hulk fights at the end of the film, was capable of absorbing possibly the entirety of San Francisco's electricity. This would mean he was able to absorb city blocks level of power, and the Hulk's energy later on was still too much for him to handle. When Hulk starts releasing his energy, he was able to instantly unfreeze the entirety of Pearl Lake, a feat which gets to town level. Then shortly after, a nuclear explosion happened right above him that gets to large town levels of power, which he was not only stated capable of surviving an explosion of this size, but also absorbed the radiation from it to power his own cells. He has also been stated possibly capable of obliterating entire mountains with his fist, which can possibly get him anywhere from small city level to possibly up to mountain level plus. And the Absorbed Man was able to actually withstand a lot of these blows. It should also be mentioned that the Hulk himself has some decent regeneration, capable of regenerating from severe lacerations and impact trauma. However, the time it takes for him to regenerate varies based on the severity of the injury. Hulk is also able to work with Banner in battle as well, as the two teamed up to fight the Absorbing Man. So with all that being said, who wins? I think there's a few ways this battle goes. If Hulk starts off in a weaker form, assuming that he gets touched at all, he's just gonna die. -1's physical feats scale much above anything that Hulk does in these smaller forms. So it's very likely that if he isn't in his best form, he's just gonna instantly die. Now, if the battle somehow drags on long enough, or Hulk starts in his biggest form, which he is capable of doing, then that makes it a little bit more interesting. Hulk in his strongest form is able to tank any physical blows from Godzilla, as well as his blows would be capable of completely destroying Godzilla. The only problem is he wouldn't really have a way to put down Godzilla permanently. Godzilla's regeneration is extremely nasty, but Godzilla really is kind of just too weak to really do much in this scenario. Best case scenario is that he somehow lands the atomic breath on Hulk at some point, maybe when his guard's down or anything, but the odds of that happening is pretty low, as Hulk himself would probably just evade it. And even if he didn't, it's possible that Hulk himself might actually be able to tank it and absorb it and get stronger. There isn't too many scenarios where Godzilla is able to actually win against Hulk's strongest form, especially if you use both of their higher end scaling. Hulk would have a really hard time keeping Godzilla down permanently, but atomic breath from Godzilla might possibly just make the Hulk stronger, and even if it didn't, he's just gonna get stronger and stronger as the battle goes on. So with that being said, Hulk kind of just wins this battle. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. First time I've done this in a little while. I want to give a couple shout outs. First off to Dredge. Don't really have anything for him I can think of, but I want to give him a shout out because he gave me pretty much all the scans, a lot of the meta, stuff like that. I'm also going to give a shout out to Goji Chronic, just because he literally helped me out and gave me one calc as I was editing that helped with my point a lot. And I want to also thank my buddy, because he made the thumbnail for this video, and I will make sure to link his stuff in the description below. Last thing I want to say, If anyone doesn't like the outcome of this video, I just want to let you know that I held off on using all the canon games and comics for this video because it would have made it really boring. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Later. Peace.